Okay. Should be going in a second now. Yep. All right. We're live.
I've already made that private games video.
Okay, hold on. 2. Okay, so it's about a 5-second delay.
How'd you test it?
I moved my mouse and then I looked at my stream video.
Oh.
Okay. Stream doing okay. Yeah, I'm working on as low as a minimal of a delay as possible. But yeah, it's doing good.
Night.
Just doing a little bit of testing. I got all that already. Okay. Okay. Working on wallpaper now. So I did a little bit of working off stream, but literally the only thing I did was shaking of the lantern and the shaking of the head. And I think so far it looks great. This is a rework of a wallpaper I already did, where I wasn't too satisfied with how it turned out. And it didn't load in everything that I worked on, so I'm just gonna do it over and pray. But so far, it's looking great. I'm already a natural born streamer. I don't know what to tell you. What else do I add? I'm gonna plan out everything I'm gonna add. So, Jeff, you're muted. I'm gonna do fog. Fog will be added. The cloak will be shaking. I'm gonna do some glowing in the pumpkin's eyes. I'm gonna do glowing on his chest. I'm gonna make these little things hanging off the trees move. It's kind of windy. I think I'm gonna try the custom stars again, and just hope that it loads them in this time. So we'll see how it goes. Do you have any suggestions that I could do?
I want you to know that's literally just me and Parker watching it.
I'm asking you if you have any suggestions.
3 watching? Is it doing all your motions? Here, do all your motions right now.
What do you mean?
Do all your, like, all the edits. Right? Like, all your components.
Well, the only thing I have right now is the head shaking and the lamp shaking. The lantern is shaking.
Yeah.
Straw man.
Did you make the things hanging from the trees shake?
I will. This is
Okay.
with this one. I'm completely starting it from scratch again. So I'll have to add all that back in.
And the smoke in the background moving.
Yep, that will be done. Everything that I had in the previous one, which was the fog, the pumpkins glowing, his chest glowing, lantern, head. I think I'm gonna do the custom stars again because I did like those. I'm gonna do the fireflies, and I'm gonna do these things hanging, shaking. So,
Oh, yeah, you've the cape moving too, right?
yeah, the cape will move. I'm gonna try something new with the cape that I haven't done before.
Okay.
I think that'll be fun.
I don't know what else to add then.
There's not a whole lot you can do. I think even as of now, it looks pretty good. Just with the head shake and the lamp shake. I do like that.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah. I might
Oh, you could
crank
have
it up
the
a
eyes
little bit.
glowing a little bit.
Yes, I was gonna do that.
Okay.
And so the pumpkin's eyes, like the pumpkin man in the middle, his eyes will glow, for sure.
Uh-huh.
And something that I want to try is making the bird's mouth move a little bit. Just
Okay.
as it'll be a very like subtle though
That won't
sense.
be very, yeah, it won't be really noticeable, but
If you look at the bird, you'll see it.
yeah.
So hopefully that will go. And um, these little things over here, see how they have the lights on them?
Uh-huh.
I think I'm gonna attempt to make those glow as well. I like do a little glowing effect along with having them shake around. And as of now, that'll be it, unless someone comes up with something else that we can add. The grass will be moving as well, but I'm gonna make it so that the person who made it down here, their name won't move. It'll stay the same.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, you should definitely keep that though.
Yeah, that'll be there.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna get rid of it, but
No, that'll stay there, and I'll make sure that
yeah,
it's
you.
readable. I won't mess with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What
The rest of the
first?
respective owner.
Yeah.
Eyes glowing. Or no, work on the stuff that you've already done, and then go into the new stuff.
Good plan. Let's start off with the pumpkins. So for the pumpkins, what we're gonna do is crap. What did I do before? Oh yeah, we go to magic. That's what I wanted. Magic charge, and we're gonna change the color to an orangish color. Kind of match those pumpkins, and then we're gonna do a bit of our own stuff to it. So we're gonna turn down the opacity. No, we'll leave the opacity a little high, but not that much. We gotta turn the count to I think as high as we can go, and the lifetime a little shorter.
You mean lifetime?
Yeah, we're gonna make the count high, lifetime short.
Oh, I thought you said lifetime.
Yeah, and then edit that. We're gonna change the actual texture of it, because right now it's this weird one. We're gonna change it to Halo 6 instead of the normal one. So that gives us, yep, this kind of vibe here. And while that does look good, we are going to get rid of these little rays as much as we can. And to do that, we have to go to size, I think it was, and make both of the numbers, the min and max, the same. So you just get this kind of little beam going here. And the rays are still there, but it kind of eliminates them as much as you can get it. Unless there's something else we can do to get rid of those rays, but I don't think there is. The exponents. Yeah, so we get this kind of look here. And we can turn down the opacity a lot. And we'll turn down the speed majorly. It kind of looks like a fireball right now. There we go. I'll make the color a little brighter. I think around that. So that's gonna be kind of the glowing effect. Sort of. Apparently the stream is having problems. Oh, we're back to good. Okay. It was kind of a lag spike, I guess. And so now we're gonna move that. We're just gonna replace that on all the eyes. So it kind of gets that glowing effect. And we can just duplicate all of our magic charges and it'll have all of the same changes we just made to it. And that'll just be an easy little thing we can do. So I'm going to work on that right now. I'm just gonna right now place them over all of the eyes, and I'll do the same to the mouths as well. But right now I'm just placing them over all the eyes, and then once I do that, I'm gonna change the sizes of them, so stretch them out, some of them, make them stubbier, all that sort of stuff, so that they fit the eyes a little better. So let's start with this one. So that one I want to make less tall and a little wide, just so it kind of highlights the eye, which you can see on this right one right here. That fits it pretty well. I'm going to rotate it so it matches it a little better, but that's the basic idea that we're going for. So we're going to do that to all the eyes. I'm going to rotate these ones. Okay. That pumpkin looks good, so we're going to go into these other ones and do the same. This one I think, yeah, this one just kind of needs to be a little smaller height-wise, but width-wise it's looking pretty good. And of course we're going to move and rotate them to match it a little better. Okay, and that's that pumpkin done as well. And already this is looking really nice, I feel like. And these two up here, I don't think we need to do much to these guys. It fits it fairly well, just naturally, which is very handy. Okay. I think that looks so far.
Looks good.
Sweet. Now, let's do the same to the mouth. Actually, I'm going to change the name of all these. Just to I. Just to make it a little easier in case I need to go back and make some changes. Okay. Just help me find them a little easier. Okay. Now we're going to work on the mouths. So for that, we're just going to have the same thing and just change the size. Which, in the end, will look very nice. Turn down the opacity a tad. Yeah. So that looks good. I'm going to do this to all these pumpkins. I'm not going to do it to this little one in the back because it's not really glowing much. It's just more of a dull one that's just kind of there. I think it'll look nicer if it's not glowing. Trying to think of what this one needs. Something about it looks off, and I'm not quite sure what.
With what one?
Oh, that's what I'm working on right now. Second to the right pumpkin. It actually doesn't look that bad
I don't
now.
know.
We're gonna.
I was gonna say with the first one, the mouth isn't glowing, but
The what?
I was gonna say with the other one, the mouth isn't glowing, but
Oh, well, yeah, that would also make sense. I think I'm gonna go through all of them and turn down the playback rate, just so they aren't as
yeah,
dramatic.
fast.
Yeah.
You're trying to use big words in your big boy stream.
And my what? Trying to explain it in case someone wants to do this as well. Okay.
Oh my god, this guy juked me so hard. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. Nice juke. Oh my god, this guy's bad.
Change this to. Oh, that's 4. We want 0.4 on all of these. So that way it's not as spastic. Okay. And that's looking good.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Next. Yeah, it's looking real nice. I hope it loads in when I publish this, because last time it didn't, and I kind of screwed over the whole wallpaper. Because I didn't do that much to it. I attempted to do the head shake and the lantern shake and the arm moving a bit, but it didn't work out too well, to be honest. They were too subtle, so it was hard to tell if they were even moving. So that's why I did this one a little more dramatic. It's not a ton, so you still get that like eerie vibe, but you can tell that it's there. Like if you apply it, you'll definitely see it. Especially since it'll be a lot bigger than this. So all of the movements and stuff are going to be more drastic. Which is it's nice to work with and difficult at the same time, because if you're having like any minor mistakes that are kind of hard to catch like this, once someone applies it to their monitor, they'll be able to see that a lot better than you can. So you got to really make sure you get every detail good. So I spent about, let's say, 30 minutes working on just the head and the lantern. And the actual lantern part, right now, it's looking good. And so is the head. But this chain right here is kind of clipping with the original chain and the one that I have moving right now. So I'm going to go back and fix that up, because I think that will be visible.
That's small though.
Yeah, but it is kind of going to be
I mean,
it
it
will be a
depends on your
focus
monitor,
point.
I guess.
I mean, most monitors are at least 1980. 12,
Yeah.
was it 1980, 1240 around resolution? I can't remember the resolutions, but they're Mine's a tiny bit bigger than that I have this wallpaper applied to. It's like
Mine's not big, yeah.
2440, and then roughly the same for the other one. But
Mhm.
you you can pick it up better than you would think, which is a little worrisome at times, but it's okay. If you can get the mistakes and funky stuff, because Wallpaper Engine isn't perfect for animating. It's
Mhm.
fairly basic, so but it's very easy to work with. So you can do them and you can make them look cool, but there will be little things that can stick out if you don't really know how to cover them up.
Mhm.
So that's kind of a problem with it, but other than that, it's nothing bad. So, what next? What should we work on?
Either smoke, embers, or the grass moving.
Okay. I think I want to save the smoke towards the end because that just kind of gets in the way.
Uh huh.
I've got some ideas with the smoke actually, the fog. I'm gonna try and make it a little more cloudy, cause like in the basic smoke is very wispy, so I'm gonna try and make it a little
Yeah.
more cloudy, but still opaque enough to where you can see everything behind it. So it gets that like thick fog vibe, but
Uh
you can
huh.
see all the other
You can still, yeah.
details. Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go for
So it's a little
that.
bit of ominous.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna go for with that. And I'm gonna try something with the cloak. I don't know if it'll be good or if it's gonna be awful, but I think we're gonna make the like flowing of his cape or cloak, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna make that a little
Uh
more
huh.
aggressive
Uh huh.
because like it looks really thin and light and it's all torn up. So I want it to be aggressive, just so like it looks like there's wind going by, but
Yeah.
it's not like extreme. And also it makes it look like it gives you more to look at with the wallpaper, which some people like.
Uh huh.
I personally I like. I think with this wallpaper, it needs like more of a aggressive feel to it, and like some of my other wallpapers did, like river and forest scene. That one's definitely
Uh huh.
that was made to calm. That's made to calm you. So I did everything in there really subtle, and it's like easy to look at. While this one, it's Halloween, spooky guy. It's all gonna be more intense because that's kind of
Yeah.
what the picture is. And I'm gonna try and make wallpapers of like all categories, just
Uh
diversity.
huh.
So yeah, I'll work on the grass next. Grass is actually a lot easier than you'd think it is, cause
Yeah. You just have to brush over, do a little bit of edits.
yeah, it's just foliage sway, and you just all you have to do is play around with the direction it's going. Normally, turn the strength down a little bit and the speed down a tad, and it looks awesome. Very, it's a very handy tool, and it's super easy to use. And what I like to do is I like to turn the opacity 100, the hardness 100, and all the hardness does is here. I'll show you. So this is like about normal, and if you look closely, you can see around this edges here. There's like a blur, and that's from the
Mhm.
hardness. If you turn the hardness all the way up and you go around, there's absolutely no blur, and like there's no fade at all. So I like to turn the hardness up just so that all the grass looks even.
Mhm.
And even if you don't have the hardness all the way up, it doesn't really matter that much, but it can still be there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make an outline around all of the grass. So we're going to start off with a smaller size and just make an outline of the grass. And the more difficult thing about this is, in order for it to look good, you gotta get it like right down to the pixel, really. So it takes a little bit of time.
Sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, it takes a little bit of time, and then it's impossible to avoid. You're gonna have to go back and make those tweaks and all that. So this whole process here, where you're editing the original picture and not like adding effects, it's a long process. But in the end, it ends up looking really nice, so can't complain that much. And as I'm doing this, you're gonna see a lot of like clipping. So right here, you're gonna see this pumpkin clipping into the grass, and that's just how it's gonna look at the beginning. Once I tweak the strength and all that, and I add some and I remove some of the foliage sway itself, it'll end up getting rid of that pretty much entirely. There might still be some left, but overall, it'll pretty much be gone. Okay. And another difficult thing is when you're working on these, you really need the show mask on. And so what that does is it darkens everything, and when you draw on something, it highlights it in white, so you can see exactly where you're drawing. And that's really handy unless you're doing it on a darker picture, because then the little details, it basically just gets rid of them. So some blades of grass I can't see easily, so I kind of gotta turn the mask on and off just to see the grass. So like the very beginning of this, it's not gonna look good. And that's gonna be just fine for now. And like with the other things, like how I did the lantern and the head moving, they just updated Wallpaper engine. And they added a new thing with the shake tool, which is what I use for all my cool stuff, like blinking, breathing effects. Use shake for that. They just added something where you can, instead of doing like a shake from side to side, you can have it do a pinch where it goes inwards. You can have it do an expand where it expands it outwards. And what I did for these two is that they added one for spin, where it makes a circle and it does a spin in all of the directions, but you can place it to where it just kind of moves it from side to side at an angle, and it looks really nice. So that's what I did for the lantern. I did it more at an angle, so it just kind of goes side to side in a swaying motion. And for the head, I did it more centered, so it gets a rotation more of, which looks really good. And the nice thing with those, the shake tool, is you can, the way you do it is you can paint where you want the actual thing to shake. So it won't move at all until I paint it to go in a direction. So with the foliage sway, once you paint on it, it goes. And it gets a little difficult to see details at times, unless you turn the strength down all the way, which I don't know why I haven't been doing. That's really handy. But it's a little more of a pain to get the details in. But then once again, at the end, it makes everything look amazing, so it's worth it. Because foliage display does a really good job at making things look real. Some grasses. And so, doing the editing the actual picture is both my favorite part and my least favorite part because it's a really long process, which is not that bad if you're like listening to music or doing something else with multitasking. But it takes a good amount of time, and it's hard to get good at it at first. Oops. It was like I haven't made that many wallpapers. I've made 38, but every single one of those.
Still a lot though.
It's an okay amount, but every single one of those wallpapers, I've done some sort of this in extreme amounts. Like if there's grass, I normally do it so every blade of grass is moving. And in the end, that looks super good. Is that grass there? I don't think it is. Okay. That's fine. A way to erase it is you just set the amount to 0, and then you go over it, and that completely gets rid of it. So that's handy. That's definitely grass right there. So we're just going to do that. And get rid of this part in the middle that I don't think is grass. Okay. And once you're done, you just pop the amount right back up. Suckers there. I don't really think making wallpapers is as hard as it looks, because you, like, when I first got Wallpaper Engine, I downloaded like a couple wallpapers, and I looked at them and thought, holy cow, that's insane looking. It must have taken so long to do.
It must have taken a while to do, and it must have been really hard.
Must have been really difficult to get done. And now that
I mean, the hardest thing is getting ideas.
Yeah, hardest part, finding the right picture and knowing what to do with the picture without making it look dumb. Hands down, the hardest thing for me, at least for me. And then once you get into making them, you look back at those and you're like, I could make that in 5 minutes. What the heck? Like, why are they so popular? So it kind of shows like you don't gotta be amazing to make some nice looking wallpapers that can get you pretty popular. I think I'm being a little detailed with this. I think I honestly could just take this, just go boom. Yeah. I'm being way I was being way too detailed with this. Just kidding. I'm having a change of plans. We're gonna do little details at the end. Right now, I'm just gonna get the mask down. I don't know why I decided to do little details first. That's not a good idea. It's nice to do the smaller stuff at the end because you're just gonna hop right back into it once you're like done, kinda. Once you get all the main stuff done, you're gonna have to hop right back at it with the tiny details because there's almost no way you're getting that first try without having to make some tweaks and adjustments. Unless you're not going for like super high quality. And in that case, you're smart because this takes up a lot of time. That's a good portion done there. Have you ever wanted to make wallpapers?
Me, I mean, I tried. I wasn't the best at it. I think that's mainly because I didn't have good ideas.
Hmm.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. How I
I
started
mean,
is
I couldn't. I didn't know
you continue.
I didn't know the right pictures to do or anything.
Yeah, that's definitely the tricky part.
Hmm.
What I end up doing is I normally end up like watching something, or, like getting into like a certain game or topic, and
Uh huh.
I'll be like super interested in that, and I'll think this would be awesome as a wallpaper, and so I'll start googling images of all that,
Uh
and
huh.
one thing leads to another. You find some cool pictures, and you turn it into a wallpaper, just like that. Is that pumpkin? That's grass. That's grass. Okay. Will it be grass later? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to get rid of that. But for right now, it's grass. This is probably going to end up being the longest part of making the wallpaper or the second longest.
Hmm.
Because it's it's a good portion of the wallpaper. Like you can see even right now, all of this white, that's all grass, and the tip extends up to like that high, pretty much. Or well, dips down there, but it's about that high. It's definitely the most time-consuming part of this.
Hmm.
And so you kind of gotta stay focused on it the whole time. Because personally, I'll start working on one of these, and like I'll be doing a big part of the picture like this, and then I'll think of something, like another thing that I want done to the wallpaper, and I'll be more interested in that, and it's something that won't take as long, and so I kind of just jump into that and not finish this, and that's not good. Don't want to do that
Hmm.
because then you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not done with that. I just did some cool stuff. I don't really want to finish that, and then you lose motivation and you don't make the wallpaper,
Uh huh.
and that's not good. Another things I do for ideas is my whole idea behind river and foresting, which was
Just
my
looking at other people's things.
yeah. I would
Hmm.
filter by
That's what you
most
did with.
popular,
Yeah.
and I looked at what they had, and they had eye catching like thumbnails,
Uh huh.
and so and they were 4K, which people seem to really like. So
Uh
I
huh.
looked up 4K wallpapers, and that one popped up, and I would glaze through them until one of them like made me actually look at it, and that was like a bigger one, and I thought it looked really nice as well. It would be a wallpaper that I would want, and so I made a wallpaper out of it. And it's currently my most popular one with like 938 current subscribers and 44 favorites, which right now, for me, that's a ton. That's insane. But like compared to some of the other people, they would see that and they'd be like, "Wow, that sucks," because theirs are getting like 90,000 and all that.
Hmm.
So that was kind of funny. And like I see some of the really popular wallpapers, and some of them, like I've made.
Hmm.
Literally, like I've done the exact same thing. The only difference is mine has like a little more to it, and theirs probably has like something that is higher quality than mine. And so I
Hmm.
see that I'm like, what the heck? Why is theirs popular? And Whoa, what the heck? Seizure warning. And that's like, it's because they're all eye catchers. So people see them and they're like, ooh, I want that. So I'm sure a lot of those popular wallpapers people see and they subscribe to them just to see everything it has to offer. Because that's what I did for a lot of wallpapers. So the thumbnail, and like people who have animated thumbnails, those always get lots of subscribers because people see it moving while the other ones are still, and that one gets their attention the most. So eventually, I think I am going to want to learn how to do that. Get those animated.
How do you do it?
They have a GIF of the
Oh.
their wallpaper's a GIF.
Wallpaper moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
And instead of upload, you have to upload it. You can't take a snapshot, so you have to upload it from your computer as a GIF. So you can, the ways you can do that is like if your wallpaper originally is a GIF, or if
you take a GIF of your wallpaper.
Yeah, if you record it. Yeah.
Great. Well, I gotta go, man. Good luck on your stream.
Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
Later.
Everyone subscribe. It's okay, no.
You, the two people here subscribe.
Yep.
Later. Okay. Oh, that's okay. That's just shining. Gotcha. In the end here, you don't necessarily have to be the most detailed at the beginning. You can just kind of, you can do it a little more sloppily. And then once you get the stuff actually going, that's when you can look at the wallpaper and make your adjustments if needed. So that's pretty handy. What do I have? Okay. We're getting there. And with this one, you normally need to extend past the actual picture with the foliage one. Foliage way. So what I like to do is do a little thicker than normal, and like in the spots where it's less detailed, and then the spots where there's something else right behind it, I like to just go to the line or the edge of it, and then from there I'll change it up. There he goes. So I think I am gonna end up. I'm gonna get close as I can to finishing this tonight. I might be able to. Not too sure yet. Or I might be live streaming again tomorrow, depending on what I do. Have to find out later. Really just depends on if I get tired by the time I'm doing the cape. Because everything else, it's kind of quick. And it's not the same thing for a long process. So I'm just gotta be able to do that. Hello? Alright. Cool beans. Should probably go on Do Not Disturb. Nice. It is nice. I think I am gonna end up uploading this live stream to my channel normally, which I need to update itself. I'm not even lag IIG anymore. Should probably fix that. I'll end up doing that as well tonight. Also, I'll end up doing quite a bit of stuff just to make everything with streaming a little nicer. For sure, be more active on YouTube. I'm thinking weekly wallpapers, maybe. I'll try it for a while, see how it works out. If it doesn't do well, then probably won't do it as much, but I'll try it. I enjoy myself while I'm doing this, so that for sure won't be a problem. And occasionally I'll probably do the other stuff I do with Rainbow Six Siege and all that. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. So it just makes making the wallpapers a little more fun. I'll probably end up making more of them, which will be nice as well. So this part here, I'm going to be in the lines a little bit more. Just to make sure that I don't mess with the pumpkin at all. Because like I said, when you have it on a bigger monitor, all those little details don't seem very little anymore. And it kind of messes up the whole thing. So, gonna be, oh, I already did that. Sweet, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be a little more careful around these edges. So yeah. Alright, now we just have to fill in all these areas here. And then we'll mess with the strength and the speed and the direction and all that. And we'll see how it looks. Sure need to find out how to get music playing. Definitely gonna add a lot cooler stuff. Music will be one of them. Transitions probably. I don't know if I need them that much, but they'd be fun. Just in case I need to tab out, do anything like that. I think these live streams will also be handy if people are wanting to get into wallpaper making, anything like that. Do know quite a few things about it. I could definitely help teach if it's wanted. If not, then it'll be fun to just sit here and chat while I make this. we're just gonna finish up these last little areas. Okay. So now we will turn off the mask there. Turn on the strength. Okay. It's looking good. Yeah, so I see here, interfering with the pumpkin a little bit. I think we can fix that by no. We can fix that by changing the direction a bit. Just kind of changes how the grass flows. Looks pretty good as of now. Yeah, as you can see if you zoom in, you can see all the roughness there, but ooh, that's not very good. I have to fix that. Since quite a few of these are so minimal, I don't think they'll be noticeable. Because if it's just like a teeny tiny line, that's not that bad. That won't really be picked up by most people. So on this one, we're just going to trim her down a little bit. I'm not too sure if that helps. Okay. We're going to get it right on the line. Dead on that line. So although we're not doing much with the pumpkin here, I would like it to look good still. Okay, that didn't help. And that's for sure noticeable. Okay. So I think we're going to have to tad down the strength. Maybe turn the speed up. Just so you can still get that it's windy look to it. I'm going to turn it to 0.4 power. There we go. It's looking good. Perfect. Okay. Anything else we need to add about that? I don't think so. Think we're looking good. Just make sure got everything down. I don't have any extra lines peeking out of hers. Occasionally I do end up making some on accident of this, and I'll be trying to drag and I'll click. She looks good. I think we're alright. So we're going to save that. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Next. What are we thinking? Cape, smoke, custom lights, flashing eyes. Okay, I'm gonna write down that the strength there is 0.4. And I'm going to turn off the strength just so that doesn't get in the way of anything. Because a handy thing about this is you can see it up here. This part here kind of clashes with that part there and it overlaps. But since it overlaps from the actual movement, if I end up making a line right here, right on this little like lip here, and this is touching it, when it moves and it like swings out, it's not going to write on that because it's technically not there in the picture. So that's fairly handy. So I'm gonna, the grass here, it is moving in the cape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the power off. or at least a 0.01, so it's not noticeable. And I just need to remember that the original strength was 0.4. So I'm just going to write that down here. 0.4 grass strength. Okay. Now, cloak time. What I'm going to do for this is also foliage sway. But we're going to have the strength of it, I think, a little lower, but the speed of it higher. So it's wavy, but it's not super aggressive. Just to make life a little easier. It's pretty much the only reason why. It's just because I'm lazy. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make lines close to the edge, but not quite on the edge since I do have a bigger brush size. I don't want to be trying to be too precise with it because it's almost inevitable that I'm going to go over the edge since I can't really zoom in that much. And while I'm doing this, most of them are going to be big, like, lines with the brush. So, if I do end up going off the edge, I will have to redo it, and that'll just get rid of the entire line. Which would be unfortunate. That had to happen. This one I do have to be more precise with because it is a much bigger focus and it's a much bigger object that's moving around instead of the grass. There's little things here I can just color over that entire thing because there's more of the cape behind it. So that's going to be moving as well. So I can just color over that whole thing. Which is really, really nice. Same for this one. I can do that to this one because the whole background is just a plain, same blue color all the way through. So, don't gotta be that precise with that. Which is really, really nice. Makes everything a lot easier. I kind of cut it close to that. Might have overlapped a tiny bit there. Yeah. That's okay. We'll just trim it down and we're all good. Good. Okay. We'll go back to filling this whole thing in. Okay. Yeah, that whole thing there I can just fill in as well. And we're just going to fill all of that. And I'll do the same to the other side with just trying to get the generic main area of it down. And then I'll go back over with smaller brush size and get the edges because that'll have better detail. Alright. That's all good there. Now we're going to do the same to the other side. On this one, since I can just kind of eyeball what I'm doing, usually I'm not going to be on the mask as much, just because it is very dark, and I think that'll actually just end up making me lose visibility instead of gaining it. So there is a leg there, which I do want. Oh, I think I hit it. Do want to avoid that. My best capabilities kind of starts there and curves up there. Beautiful. Just went around it. Kind of see where it ends. You see, yeah, the little white bit's a part of it, looks like. So we're not going to color on that. And this one, this will be done a lot quicker. Because it's like about a quarter of the size of the other one. And once again, with these guys, I just kind of graze over those. It's just blue behind it. So that's handy. Okay. Now the fun part, where we go in and get all those tiny details. Hooray, I'm so glad. Okay. And we'll just not do that. Fill in the rest of that. Easy peasy. Now we just have to do that 20 more times. It'll be done in a couple minutes for sure. Same as the grass, we just kind of trace the outer edge. Will we end up going over it? Probably. We'll probably have to, because then it'll look dumb. That's how it works. That's kind of why I did that one sloppily, because I am going to have to end up going past the line. And the nice thing about the cave being here is that there's not really any detail back here. Well, there is, but it's not dramatic. And if it's moving, it'll kind of be covered up by all the other stuff being there, because there's also going to be the fog going by. And that's it. I don't know why I said a lot. There's going to be the fog. But that will do a pretty good job at covering the whole thing up. So that's handy. So no problem. Okay, that's his leg there. Good, did not go over it. This leg over here, it's a little harder to see, so I'm just trying to base it off this leg over here so I can kind of get a generic outline of it, which will end up being enough for me to do this. With this part, that's fine. This part down here, it is really dark, and so while that's moving and all that, it's not going to be as easy to see. So if I do end up making little mistakes, or I don't quite get it all, it'll be okay. Because it's subtle, it's dark, and it's going to be right on that fog, so won't be seeing it that well either. And this whole middle area here, I will have to fill in. I'm not gonna go as close to that edge as I need to, because, like I said, don't really matter. This part won't be very visible, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to make it look nice, but I don't really need to put a whole ton of effort into it. So now I just have to fill in the entire middle part, and that'll be that part done. did end up kind of confusing myself here with all of the lines I accidentally made. But we should be all good. Cool, that's that. Dipped around the leg, missed all of it. Right over here I do need to fill in. Up next, those lights. Beautiful, alright. Now, did I get that? Yeah, alright, now I just need to work on this portion of the cape, really. This area over here near the body, like I said, I don't need to get as close to it as I really need to, because it's so dark there, and it's not going to be moving around as much as the rest. So, it's not my main priority to get that as detailed. So I'm just going to trace the outer edge of the entire cape and get a little bit of a bigger brush size and fill in the gaps, unless they're fairly tiny. I'll just go. It'll feel slow, but it'll probably end up being faster than just going back with a bigger brush, since it's not that big itself. That little gap there, I'll just end up going over as well, because it's so tiny that it'll just kind of look like it fits with the cape if it's going with it, because then that hole actually looks like you're seeing through the hole, instead of the cape just kind of passing over that hole and then covering it and then opening it and all that. Cut across there. What's that back there? That's a tree. Okay. Well, I do want to make sure I don't highlight over that. Alright. Just come up over this blade of grass here. Dip around, come back down. Cool. So we're going to come close to the grass, but not quite there, because everything will be moving quite drastically, and I don't want them to overlap at all. Or, well, I don't want to have them kind of like connected, because that would not look good. That would look very bad. Which this might end up looking like anyways, but we'll have to see. So now we're just going to go over and fill in all of these little gaps here. Turn down the brush size a tad. That's much better. If what I have in mind I can actually do, this should end up looking very, very cool. And then along with all the added little stuff I'm gonna do. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh crap. Alright, that's fine. With all the little stuff I'm gonna do, it's definitely going to be one of my better wallpapers out there. You can see all my other wallpapers at my Steam profile, which is Show Me Your Fair. You can check it on my workshop submissions and make some fairly similar to this one. Do all sorts of varieties. I also take custom requests if you want to do that. Just comment on my profile or on one of the wallpapers themselves. I check it every day. There's your shameless promotion of the day. Okay. All done. I lied. We're not all done. I completely ignored this spot up here. It was tiny, and I kind of missed it. Now we're all done. So we're going to turn up the strength. I'm going to change the direction as well. I do want it to get the most shake as possible. I'll try 0.4 strength on this one as well. Okay, that's really aggressive. Maybe 3.5. Okay, now I want to turn up the speed. Not that high. Here it is 6. I'm going to fix this up here. That looks bad. Along with that, alright, so let's fix that right now, I think. Thump. Yeah, there we go. All this. Since that is all just a blank background over there, I can get a little sloppy with it. That won't hurt. I'm just trying to look at the entire thing right now. This area over here I'm going to touch up as well. Other than that, she's looking pretty good. Spots on here I could fix. I'll just get that moving as well, it won't hurt. Okay, it is kind of combining with that leg there. Does it look like it's one with the cape? No, it doesn't. No, it actually does a little bit. There's a problem with that. Am I overlapping? I am overlapping. I'm trying to fix that. Shaving it down, pixel by pixel, until it eventually goes away. Would you look at that? It's gone now. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's work on this up here. Ooh, can I have the eyes move? That'd be nifty. On my last attempt on making this, I did try to make it blink. It does not have enough area of black to make it blink. Because in order to make something blink, you have to take this spot around its eyes and bring it down with the shake tool, and you can change how often it does it and how quick it does it and where it goes to make it look like it's blinking. And so there's not enough black right on top of here to cover the whole pupil. So getting that blinking in without like taking the picture into Photoshop and animating it or anything like that is, I don't think, possible with this wallpaper. I've also never seen it before, so I feel fairly confident saying that. Okay. For this part right here, how it's really sloppy, I'm going to go over the whole thing with low amount of this and a low opacity, just so it kind of is subtle and it's like kind of fades into it. And then I'll turn it down more on both of them and go all the way up here. That was a bad mistake. I'm going to try the same for this side, turn them both up a tiny bit. Do I need it for that side? No, I just need to fix that. Overlapping that, I think. Well, that makes me look dumb. And that looks nice. Alright, we're gonna bring that out a tiny bit. Just because I can, it won't hurt anything, except I'll make that look a little smoother. So yeah, it is still a teeny bit sloppy there, but much better than before. And it does give it that wavy look, which is going throughout the whole cloak. So that's not exactly what I was imagining the cloak to look like when I was done with it, but she does look pretty good. I think I'm going to tweak the direction it's going a little bit. Yeah, like that. If it's right at 0, like that, it's kind of moving in every direction all crazy. So I think, what's that going to do? No. I'm going to have it diagonal here for the direction. I still don't quite understand the directions. I just know if it's straight up like this, it's normally a little more aggressive, and if it's to one of these sides, it's more calmed down. So I'm going to have it right diagonally, a little more on the aggressive side. And that completely gets rid of that little bad spot there, and it makes the whole thing look pretty nice. I can change the phase of it. See if that's handy at all. Ooh. Kind of like that. I'm going to try and get the tips of the whole thing waving more. That looks pretty good. So if I do it the other way, I'll do it. Yeah. Well, that just kind of looks like a shake. I like that one. I think that looks good. Looks good. Alright. Good. Good start to this. So the rest of the things I'm going to add, I got to get the grass moving again. I remembered what it was. It was 0.4. Boom. Grass is moving again. There's a lot of motion in here, which is a good thing. There's a lot more detail within it all. So that's really nice. Okay. Next, I think what we're going to end up going for is I'm going to make his chest here glow. That's what I wanted to do. So we're just going to take this mouth here, because it's going to be the same thing. We're going to duplicate it, and we're going to take it up on the chest. We're going to rotate it. We are going to scale down that height just to like that. So that makes it look like there's fire going on in there, which was what I'm going for. I think I am going to tone it down a tiny bit more. Bring it in a tiny bit. Right there. That's good. In wallpapers, it's nice to have the drastic things, and it's nice to have a good mix of subtle things as well. Just so, like, you have your eye catchers, but then you also have the little details that people appreciate just by looking at them, and that they'll really see if they're actually looking at the wallpaper. Or like they'll catch a glimpse of something moving and they'll look at it, and it's a good thing to have. And that's what quite a few people like as well. Just the subtleness in a lot of them. Not all the wallpapers just have to be like crazy in your face in order to look good. Okay. I'm tempted to try and get the crow's mouth to move. Very tempted. Let's see if I can end up doing that. So this shake here, we'll edit it. Strength is 0.12. I'll have to remember that. 0.12. Head strength. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to get this crow's mouth to kind of open and close a little bit. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to add another shake. And how you want to do a shake is you want to go to your opacity tab, and you want to press show mask. You want to set the amount to 0 and press clear. And this makes it so that everything on this wallpaper right now will not shake at all. The only things that'll shake is when you turn your amount back up all the way and you paint over it. So if you're working on one of these and you see that you're trying to do a shake and all these little things around it are just looking really sloppy, that is probably the best way to fix it. So now I just have to highlight the bird's beak, which looks like that. And so that's good. Got that highlighted. Now this is the fun part, shake direction. I want to go for a pinch. Boom. Not quite what I was thinking. Maybe if I do it like that. No, definitely not. No. If I try to spin there. Ooh, that's not normal. Okay. Maybe I do a spin on this. Okay. Just kidding. Just kidding. We're going to do direction. We're going to go up on this part. Of course, we will turn down the strength a whole bunch. And then down on this part. We are going to turn down the strength a ton. Turn up that speed a tad. I'm going to be honest, not really what I was going for. So unfortunately, since I do have to make a bunch of motions, it might end up being a little sloppy. If I just move the bottom beak, like how it normally is. Let's try that. Let's just get rid of this whole top area there. Just so we have that bottom beak highlighted. Okay. Now we can do this so where we just take this, make the size big, and we just go boom. Now we can turn up the strength. Oh, we can't turn up the strength. We're gonna keep that strength low. Actually, no, hold on. I know how we can fix this. You gotta turn that size way down. We gotta go boom. So we're grabbing a little bit more of that. And now, yeah, it kind of gets rid of that stuff showing there. And then I do want to get this direction down before I do anything else. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. That's a pretty good direction. So now I think just turn up the strength. No, is that a bad idea? No, it's okay. We can fix that. Save that. I like that direction. Now we just need to clean up that little bit here. We're doing that. And that. Easy peasy. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to turn the amount and opacity down once again. We're going to paint along that. Then we're going to turn it down more and more. We're going to paint along that. Smooth transitioning. That's good. So now it just kind of looks like that whole thing is kind of, it's all working together. It's like a whole muscle. I think that looks pretty decent. Yeah. Alright. If I can end up finding a better way to do it, I think I will. But just for, this is my first time making the mouth move. So I think just for that being my first time, I think that looks pretty okay. Now the true test is seeing if I do this and I put this back to normal, which should have been 0.12. Yes. Is that gonna destroy everything? It didn't. It's funking with it a little bit, but honestly, that looks sick. That works. That's great. Okay. Awesome. That makes me happy. That's awesome that that works. So that's just another little detail that's just going to be there. Little detail that's just going to be there. So, that's perfect. Couldn't ask for more. That's great. Okay. So, that's really the bigger parts of it done. I'm going to make these little things move. A couple other things are going to glow. I am going to try and make those eyes glow. Little peepers. We're going to add the fog. We're going to add the fireflies that you can interact with, which is really fun. And I think that's it. That'll be a beautiful rework of the original, which didn't turn out as good as I was hoping to, so I'm really glad that this is working out. The only thing that could go wrong, really, is if Wallpaper Engine did what happened last time and get rid of a few assets I did. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I might leave it for a little while just to load everything and make sure it's all rendered and all that, and it's got all of it like saved, and then I'll publish it just to make sure that it's all good. But this is looking beautiful. Very, very cool wallpaper. Okay. Let's make his peepers glow. I'm not gonna do the same I've been doing for these guys to make it glow. I am gonna switch it up a little bit, just give it diversity. Let's try. Alright, we're gonna do somewhat similar just because I know I can work with that. I can get that to actually function how I want it to. No. Just kidding. I only want it to spark a couple times, and I do know how to do that. It's with the spark. So, what we have to do here, so the spark only happens occasionally. So what you want to do is you want to change the lifetime to very, very low and the count to a little higher. Yep. So that way you just get that little flash, just boom, little pop. Want the size to be tiny. And we are going to change the decal, or whatever you want to call it, to kind of dig a flare. How does that look? Ooh. That's pretty cool. Okay. It always happens in little pops like that. So that's good. So let's change the color to more of an orange. We'll tune down the size. We'll slow down the playback rate a little bit because it is very, it's just like boom, there and gone. So we'll turn that down a bit. We'll turn the speed down a tad. Make it all clump together a little more. Good. Looking good. We're going to drag that right onto his little peeper. Boop. How's that looking? Pretty good. See this. So with the spark, it does move around a little bit. So if I can end up changing it a little bit, kind of go crazy there. If I can end up trying to get it to go in the same spot every time, I think that'll look really nice. Let's see how that looks. Wait. Alright, we're gonna make that invisible. I'm gonna put that on hold. I think I'm just really overthinking this. Sparkle. I think I have a way to make sparkle do really good for this. Because sparkle is always in the same spot. I can customize it a good amount. I can make it look fairly good. Maybe. Boom. Boom. No. Count. Oh. Boom. Yeah. Great. Lower. Size way low. A little higher. And we're going to change the particle to... kind of want to try flare again. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Love to see that. Turn down the size a little bit. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Let's pop that right on his eye. A little hard to see. We'll change the color. That's just a vibrant red. That's better. Maybe size a little bit bigger, opacity a little bit smaller. Turn the playback rate down a little more. I think that's looking good. Playback rate nice and slow. Okay, you can go up a tiny bit higher, but let's do 0.25. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like how that's looking. If there's anyone in my chat right now, I don't know if there is. What are you thinking? Because I think she looks pretty good. I don't think there's anyone in the chat. That's fine. We'll apply it to the other side. This one. I think there. Gets it good. That eye does move up and down a bit. Yes. Beautiful. That's good. Especially when you're zoomed out a bit. Makes them look like more alive. That's good. I like that. Okay. I think this is working out real nicely. What happened to this? What happened to all these guys? Those are flares? Oh, they all messed up. Those were set to default. That's not what I asked for. Why did that happen? Yeah, that just completely reset to default. I mess up these. Oh, okay. Weird, but that's fine. Easy fix. Sweet. This is looking awesome right now. How long have we been going for? About hour 40 minutes. Yeah, that seems about right. It's about how long this takes. This normally take about 2.5 hours to make per wallpaper, which surprisingly isn't that bad for how much I do and how not very well I do them. Okay, next. The things we have left are Fireflies, Fog, hanging from the tree stuff, those little things, and then custom stars, because I really like the custom stars. Those look really cool. Okay. Let's get these guys going next. So for that we are going to do foliage sway. This one's going to take so much less time than the others. So we're just going to turn that up pretty high. And we're just going to do this. Boom. That one's done. Not really. Well, that's literally just about all we're going to do. We'll tweak them. We'll transition from where the rope is, like where the movement is starting to happen, to where it ends. But that's literally just about all we gotta do for this thing. There's no big detail stuff around it, so I'm not worried about that at all. We're just gonna go through, bang, bang, boom. Looking good. And just like that, it looks nice. We are gonna fix it up a bit. This one up here, that rope's not very happy, wonder why. To do that, we're gonna do what we have always been doing. Mesh the opacity. That's nice. Do that for all that. Beautiful. Same for this guy. Just kind of even out the whole thing. The more even everything is, the less like big dramatic movements there are, the better. If everything can just like transition, that's gonna look real nice. We are completely missing that right there. Now we're not. Did completely catch that tree like an idiot, so we're just gonna go through and fix it up. So for that part there, we're gonna screw that up as well. Just gonna go boop. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's not normal here. What's going on? Okay. I think I did a little too much on that one, so we're just gonna do that. And there you have it. Simple as that. And those look pretty nice. That's how easy. Oh no, I lied. Hold on. Basically how easy that this tool is. Foliage sway. She's nice and simple. Don't have to do a ton to get a really nice looker. Whatever you're trying to do. Definitely get a lot more from the work you have to put in. Trying to make that as good looking as I can. That just did not help. We're gonna fix that. Okay. And that little thing, can't notice it. Too dark. Okay. Awesome. This is good. Next. I don't think I'm gonna end up adding glowing to these because I don't really think there's a point to it. They're moving around so much. It's just gonna end up making it look bad. Whoever made this already added a glowing effect to it. Just by painting it, so It's very handy. Okay. Next up, we'll do custom stars. Where I do for those. Pretty sure I just ended up doing this again. No, I didn't. What did I end up doing? I think I did sparks. Yeah, I did sparks. Do a spark. Why is it a square? There we go. I don't know what that was doing right there, but I know that it was not supposed to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the size way down, lifetime down, count high. Little star flash. We're gonna edit this so that it is Halo 6, which is that's what I use the most. And if you make the size a little itty bitty, you get what looks like a little star. And we're gonna put these in random places. We're gonna make them littler. How's that? Littler. Little bigger. That's okay. Perfect. Okay. And we'll have just a couple of those. We'll duplicate them, move them around random spots. That wasn't what I was supposed to do. We're gonna get rid of that guy. That one didn't happen. I completely did the wrong tool. I made it bigger instead of moving it. We'll add some over here. Duplicate. Put one up in these trees. I like to do. Duplicate again. Move one down here. And one more time, we'll put it right here. And that all just kind of adds to the background, because with the background there's not that much going on. But now you got all these little stars flashing, popping, and all that. I think it just ends up looking nice. I think I'm going to put down this playback rate tiny bit. I think that's to that one here. Yeah. All those playback rates are going to go to 0.8 because that looks really nice. Close enough. I don't have to be exact. That 0.1 difference won't be noticeable. That's speed. I've been messing with the speed, I think. I have. That's not very smart of me. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing playback rate. Okay. Boom. Bang. Up. And pow. Maybe. Pow. And that looks good. It's like that. That's what I had on my last one that ended up not showing up on the wallpaper when I published it, which is kind of a bummer, but that's why I'm making this one. And all of my stuff went back to Word again. Why is that? And that. Not too sure why these guys. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I added a new one. And so it just set them all to that default setting since I added a new one. I think that's probably the reason why. So we'll definitely fix that last. Speaking of last, I think we just have one little more thing to add, which would be the fog. So we're gonna get to that real quick. I like fog 1 over fog 2. I think it just looks nicer. So what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna lay it real low. We're gonna stretch it out real wide. We'll bring it up a little high. It's there. So we're gonna turn the opacity down. And we're gonna edit this so that the fog is just something else. Let's try fog 3. How's that? Yeah, that's practically non-existent. That's not exactly what I'm going for. How about this one? There we go. Maybe. Yeah. Playback rate down. There we go. That's what I was looking for when I was going for fog. As I was explaining earlier, I want that thick layer so you can see that fog is there, but it's not so thick that you can't see anything below it. This is exactly what I was meaning by that. That looks good. We're going to bring it down in this grass here. Stretch it up in here. This covers this entire area. Yeah. I'm liking the looks of this whole thing right now. Those stars, I kinda... Let's see if I can get those to be diverse. I think I can. With the... size. Lifetime. Try that. Min 1. Max 2. I'll do min 0.6. There we go. Now we got diversity. And eventually they'll end up becoming more and more spread apart. So the longer you have the wallpaper open, the more diverse it's going to be. Awesome. That looks sick. So now we gotta... Oh, we gotta add the Fireflies. Almost forgot. That's under interactive. Fireflies. It's our little boys. We're gonna move them down here. Near the grass. We're gonna spread them apart. We're gonna change their color to orange, because fireflies are about that color, or yellow. Eventually, yeah, they'll all turn to that yellow color. And that's just another thing that you can see. And you can interact with these guys, so you can push them around with your mouse, which is always fun. Okay. This is looking very nice, for sure. So we're just going to fix up this last little thing. We edit this once again. Put that all back to how I had it. About the size. Being 450, 450. And now all those are back to normal, and it's a lot more vibrant. Vibrant colors are also very, very good to have when you're making a wallpaper. And I believe that is it. Just take a look over everything. Make sure all of it's looking good. I am going to leave this running for a little while, because it does make autosaves if you leave it running. So I'm going to let it autosave it a couple times, just to make sure that everything stays with it when I end up publishing this. The name of it What's the name of it gonna be? We're gonna call it. I was thinking Halloween scene revamp. Just because it is the same picture, but I made it better. Definitely looking awesome. I will apply this to my monitor first just to check everything and make sure it's all looking good. Everything's there. Nothing is out of the ordinary. And then after that, I will publish it so all of you guys, if you have Wallpaper Engine, it's a game, tool, utility thing, app on Steam. It's for $5. Highly recommend it. Very, very fun. The editor comes free with it, so if you want to, you could just hop on there and make your own wallpapers like this. And you can publish them to the Steam Workshop, and anyone can download it. So I would highly recommend doing that. It's been fun streaming to the few people who joined. I think I'm going to try and do this weekly, maybe. We'll have to see how that all goes. So for now, I'm going to end the stream. This will probably end up being a video on my channel that you can watch. So if you want to get this wallpaper, you can search up my profile on Wallpaper Engine. Show me your fear. Every word has a new capital letter, no spaces. And you can get this wallpaper if you like, along with other wallpapers I've made. I did have the old one. I'm going to keep the old one that I made of this up. It's just called Halloween Scene. So that one, for sure, not as good as this one. Not as flashy, not as much is going on. This one, I think I'm just going to end up calling Halloween Scene Revamp. If not, if you're watching the VOD to this on my channel, I will leave in the description if I change the name. If not, it is Halloween Scene Revamp. So, that's all I got for you. This will be on the workshop momentarily. Adios.